In a quiet town in Ohio, lived a 12-year-old boy named Ethan Miller. His town wasn't famous. No skyscrapers, no big dreams on billboards. Just modest houses, honest people, and kids who learned early that effort was everything. Ethan lived with his mom in a small wooden house near an old railroad track. His dad had passed away years before, and money was always tight. But Ethan was cheerful, curious, and full of ideas. One rainy spring evening, Ethan noticed something small, a tiny drip. It fell from the ceiling into a metal bowl his mom had placed on the floor. Drip, drip. "Mom, the roof is leaking," he said. His mother sighed. "I know, sweetheart. It's just a small leak. We'll fix it someday." Ethan nodded and went back to his homework. The leak didn't seem dangerous. It wasn't flooding the house. It wasn't loud. It wasn't urgent. So, life went on. Weeks passed, and the rain returned again and again. That small drip grew faster. A dark stain spread across the ceiling, and a faint smell of damp wood filled the room. Ethan noticed, but he didn't say anything. He thought, it's still not that bad. At school, Ethan was facing his own small problems. He was great at math, but he really struggled with reading. The words would just blur together. He started skipping his reading assignments, telling himself he'd catch up later. His teachers warned him gently. "It's just one subject," Ethan thought. "I'll fix it later." He was sure he could handle it. Then, one night, a powerful storm hit the town. Thunder shook the windows, and rain poured down like the sky had cracked wide open. And suddenly, crash, a huge section of the living room ceiling collapsed. Water rushed in, flooding the floor. Old books, clothes, furniture, everything was soaked. His mother just stood there, frozen, staring at the disaster. The small leak had become a catastrophe. That night, as they sat in the dark with towels and buckets, Ethan felt something heavy in his chest. It wasn't fear, it was regret. If only they had fixed it when it was small. The next day, their neighbor, Mr. Thompson, a retired construction worker, came over to help. He took one look at the roof and shook his head. "This started as a simple fix," he said kindly. "A few shingles, maybe an hour of work. Now, it'll cost 10 times more to repair." Ethan looked down at his feet, ashamed. Mr. Thompson noticed and put a hand on his shoulder. "Son, life works the same way as houses," he said. "Small problems whisper, big problems scream." That sentence stuck with Ethan. A few days later, he got his report card. He was failing reading. The problem he had ignored for so long had grown too big to hide. It was screaming. But this time, instead of making excuses, Ethan finally decided to act. He stayed after class and told his teacher the truth. "I didn't ask for help when I should have," he said quietly. "The best time to fix a problem is early," she said. "The second best time is now." So Ethan started reading every single day. Just 10 minutes at first. It was hard. It was embarrassing. And it was slow. But he didn't ignore it anymore. At home, he helped Mr. Thompson repair the roof, piece by piece. He hammered nails, lifted wood, and learned what it meant to be patient. He was learning that every small fix, every small action mattered. Drip by drip, page by page, day by day, things began to change. By the end of the year, Ethan wasn't the best reader in his school, not by a long shot, but he was improving. The house was no longer leaking, and something far more important had been repaired: his mindset. He had learned to face his problems head on. He wasn't famous or rich, but he had a powerful lesson to share. He said, "I learned something important when I was a kid. Small problems don't just go away when you ignore them. They grow, they rot, they collapse roofs, and they collapse dreams. But small actions, done early and done consistently, they build strong lives." The audience stood and applauded. Not because his life was perfect, but because he had learned the most valuable lesson of all: how to listen to life's quiet warnings before they start to scream. Thanks for watching. If this story resonated with you, consider subscribing for more content like this.